Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE NXT episode 504 and NXT UK episode 41, both broadcast on Wednesday, May 1st, 2019. This might be my last episode of the week until I get back home next Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, I am heading out to Arctic Comic Con in Anchorage, Alaska to sell my wares, just art prints and commissioned paintings. But if you would like your own commissioned paintings or just to learn more about this place, and also to I've been meaning I forgot to do that. I should post a blog for every show that I go to. But I'll start with this one. Or maybe while I'm there, I'll post the one for the last time, and then I'll post the one for this time during the next convention or something. I don't know. But go to demonjackal.com or follow at the Demon Jackal on Facebook, Twitter, and or Instagram to learn more about all of that. I didn't get that much into detail on the comic book episode. I should have said all that in the comic book episode. But anyway, I think over the weekend, if I do have, I think I probably have Wi-Fi at the hotel. I might check out the Worlds Collide Battle Royales again. I was there in person for them, so that's part of why I haven't really felt it being a priority to go watch those. But watching NXT UK this week reminded me of that, since this is the last episode that's filmed in New York. And I was there for it. You can see me kind of in the crowd. It's hard to describe where I am because I'm just wearing a black shirt and I'm in the upper area across from the camera. But I was able to find myself, and it was pretty exciting. And this was a fun episode to attend. So I'll get to that in a second. Actually, let's start with that. Let's start with NXT UK. We had Travis Banks versus Mansoor. Mansoor's logo on his pants, he straight up just stole that from Majin, all the Majin characters. It's the Majin symbol from Majin Buu and all them. You had Majin Vegeta. He gets that symbol on his head. Actually, I think Majin Buu also has that symbol on his head. But if they're possessed, then they get that. Anyway, Travis Banks wins this match. I think it was the first time I ever saw Mansoor in action. But then we had Piper Niven versus Reina Gonzalez. This is the match that I was excited that I got to see because that morning I met Reina and asked her if she had a match later that day, and she said yes. And I said, I'm going to try and check it out. And I did. And I got some good pictures. I posted them, and all was joyful and happy on Twitter with the sharing of the photos and all of that. I always really enjoy those successful Twitter and real life interactions going like that, because there's been a couple now. There's that one, and then back at Royal Rumble with Mike Rome, that worked out pretty well too. So those are always really fun. And a large number of my tweets are for a very, very specific audience of like one or two people. And so when those go over well, it's an absolute home run, because that's like exactly the goal of those couple of tweets. Like there's the one that was just a caption, or I added speech bubbles. This was at Royal Rumble Access. It was a match, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Zach Gibson and James Drake. And James and Zach were talking to each other like before the match they got into the action. And so I add the caption from James Drake. He was talking to Zach. He said, I gotta be honest with you. It wasn't that. It was I apologize ahead of time. I cannot tell you guys apart from behind. I'm sorry. Something like that. And I think that they both liked it, or at the very least, Zach Gibson liked it. And that That was my entire goal, of spending the time adding a speech bubble and writing the caption and all that. So anyway, Reina Gonzalez is so awesome, and it was cool to see her in this match. Piper Niven is also awesome, but I have not had the chance to meet her yet. So perhaps next time, perhaps she'll be at SummerSlam Access. Hopefully both of them are. Hopefully everybody that I've already met is also at those, so I can meet them again and say, hey, nice to meet you. Remember me? No, I don't say that. That's stupid. They wouldn't remember. Well, maybe they would. I don't know. There might be specific instances where I might have been memorable. The guy who was working the VIP lane, he remembered me because of my tattoos. So that was cool, I guess. So maybe I had long sleeves on for all of Access because I had just gotten fresh tattoos, and so they're healing, and I didn't want them exposed to all the hundreds and hundreds of people I was going to be around. So that may be a memorable thing for some of them to remember me by, perhaps. They're like, oh, that's the guy with the tattoos and the glasses. I remember him. But this is the first of having that combination of having short sleeves. So I just gotta wear short sleeves to these from now on, so I can remember. Walter versus Jordan Devlin. I remember watching this match live and thinking, man, Devlin is really putting it to Walter. He's giving him almost as much trouble as Pete Dunne was giving him. This is a very competitive match, and I knew that he wasn't going to win, but it seemed like it could have happened. It didn't seem like it was out of the realm of possibility that between these two that he could. I don't know. So it was very good on both of their parts. So that's all that really happened on this episode of NXT UK. There were some promos. There was one with Gallus. They were back home, talking about how home is ugly, but they love ugly, or something like that. It was pretty cool. I liked the look of that video. It was really weird staging. Like they were like facing different directions and like kind of in front of each other and stuff. But it made it a little bit more interesting. And then like the little rise of the camera centered on, I think it was Joe Coffey. Is he the leader? Whichever one. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I can't remember the other. Oh yeah, there was one with Zaya Brookside. She was at the Performance Center, and it was like a YouTube kind of blog type video. Of jump cuts and stuff like that. And I thought that was kind of fun. It was a lot more palatable. Saying it like that makes it seem like it still wasn't good. No, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a lot more aesthetically pleasing than the Twitter-minded big text on the screen. There was a little bit of text on the screen, but it was not as overwhelming. They had it for a while there where it was on the actual show, but like the promos with their name at the front and then like their catchphrase coming up, like "You'll get these hands," and it comes up on the screen, things like that. So it wasn't like that extreme. It was like it like reeled back a little bit, and it had kind of that vlogger feel to it that I enjoyed it. I thought it fit her energy very well. So yeah, that was NXT UK. Over on NXT episode 504, I think this was the last of this batch of episodes that were filmed, maybe. But maybe not. Yeah. Because they filmed the next set that takes us through to their. Oh, did they? Yeah, because they said it was. I saw tweets about Full Sail. So I think they filmed like 6 episodes to get us through to the next pay-per-view, or 5 episodes. I don't know. Anyway, we open with Oni and Danny with Humberto Carrillo in a 6-man tag team match against the Forgotten Sons. which the Forgotten Sons won. Boo earns. Oh wait, I sometimes say that, but the problem with saying, okay, instead of saying boo, but saying boo earns as in the same context that you would say boo is would be kind of incorrect, because the justification of saying boo earns is that you're actually in support of what was going on, because in that instance on The Simpsons, they're saying, are they saying boo or are they saying boo earns? No, he didn't say that. He said, anyway, Hans Moleman says, I was saying boo Burns, because he was the only one who's actually supporting Mr. Burns. And so the saying boo Burns means you actually like the thing that you're saying, or it should mean that, instead of just being a synonym for boo, because then it defeats the purpose of the willful ignorance of the booing and thinking that it's something in support of you. Right? Yes. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe. Let me know. Let me know in the comments or tweet me at TLW Podcast what you think about the boo earns situation. Anyway, Wesley Blake pins Danny Burch, and I drew a little frowny face. Trying to get an interview going back outside. Kathy Kelly gets her mic slapped out of her hand by Shayna Baszler. I forget exactly what she said about that. Something about how Io Shirai, she hasn't actually been able to pin Io Shirai yet. And Shayna's just like, shut up. Bianca and Mia argue back at the Performance Center. So it looks like they're going to have, I'm sure they're going to have a match pretty soon. Mansoor, his second appearance of the day, versus Dominik Dijakovic. Dijakovic just destroys him. It takes him a little bit long. It wasn't exactly a squash match, but Mansoor does not get very much, if any, offense in at all. He kicks out a couple of times, but yeah, that's about it. After this, Dream comes out and he sings very poorly. I talked about this in the Amazing Race episode because it related to karaoke a little bit. He did sing brand new words to the Star-Spangled Banner. Star-Spangled Banner. Star-Spangled Banner. Is that the name? I feel like I'm having a stroke right now or something. Is that's not the name of this song, is it? The national anthem. The actual name of the song is... I feel crazy right now. What is the name of the national anthem? Yeah, the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm a little bit stupid. Anyway, the words it was very funny, but he should not be trying to sing. He should not sing. Please. But it was very, very funny. He's still rolling with it. He is the next Dream. Right after this, we have a Undisputed Era promo. I may have actually had a stroke just then. I should stop joking about that kind of stuff. So here's the thing. If you believe in the the possibilities of infinite timelines splitting off from every single instance in time, then if that is the case, I kind of think it is. Then there are infinite possibilities in which you die immediately after any given moment, and that is your last moment, and that's infinite, all that. So whatever you do, like, if that was the last thing you did, would that be kind of think about that? Is that what you would want to be the last thing that you did? And that could be a kind of a moral guideline, ethical guideline, or just a really selfish, self-centered, self-image guideline. I don't know, but it's something to consider maybe. Like, I know that I'm probably like if I don't send my flight information to at least somebody, that no chances are is the flight's going to go great and I'm going to get there and I'm going to get back. Everything's great. But in the timelines where that doesn't happen, if I don't convey that information to somebody, then it's going to take them a lot longer to do a lot of things, to even find out that something like that happened. So I don't know. I guess it's a variation on the treat every day as your last, but even more so, it's like treat every moment as your last, because in infinite universes and infinite timelines, every moment is your last moment, and that could be looked at as a very dark outlook, or that could be a very light, a very hopeful outlook. That, like, that's why you should make the best out of every moment, because there are infinite universes where it is. That is your last chance to enjoy that thing that you're doing, or to be nice. But on the flip side of that, there's this absolute jackass driving this morning. I drove a total of like 1 mile today, just to go and get some food and come back, because I fly out in the morning, so there's no need to go like grocery shopping or anything like that. Let me see if I can describe this to you. Yes, I am just totally spinning off before we get into this Undisputed Era segment that comes up next after this after this poor singing. But so we have a 2-lane road. Let me see if I can describe this and describe what's going on visually without the visuals. There's 2 lanes going southbound out of my apartment complex over to the main road there. And one of the lanes is closed because they're building like an apartment complex right there, and sometimes they need the machinery to go out into the lane and all that. And so I was traveling in the right lane, and I get over to the left, probably like 100 yards away from where the lane is closed. So I was thinking ahead of time. I slowed down a little bit, because that's a very good thing to do when you're going anywhere where where workers are out and about on foot. It's just use your head. Go slower. They might not have somebody standing out there with a slow sign or something like that. If you see orange cones, something wacky is going on. Be slower, be safe. Play it safe, because any moment could be your last. And any moment could be somebody else's last. But that's a permanence in your timeline, that if somebody else is gone, that you're still there in that timeline. They have split off into all of the timelines. Well, the one timeline that you're in and the infinite timelines that continue for you, they're no longer there. But there are other timelines where you were careful, that nothing bad did happen, and those timelines continue off on their own, and you never know about them, because it all branches off. Anyway, so these two, again, sidetracked and trying to describe. There's the 2 lanes. It goes down to the one. The right lane is closed because of the construction there. And this guy in this huge white truck is just tearing down the street behind me. And I see him like start to change lanes to go around me, when there's maybe going to be like a car length in front of me to get back around me if he did actually go for it. And that would be going at like 60 miles per hour where the cones have begun. Total dick move. Don't ever do that. Pay attention to what you're doing. If you see orange cones, don't do something jackass like that. Don't be a complete and utter tool. Anyway, so I honk at him. This is the first time, I believe this is the first time I have ever honked at somebody who's behind me. And I like shaking my head, I like give him a thumbs up, like, yeah, great job, dude. He realizes I don't think he realized he's an idiot, but he realized that what I was doing was, is going to prevent him from doing what he wanted to try to do, which is a very stupid thing to do. And what I was doing was just being in the other lane and slowing down a little bit. And I may have like swerved over to the right a little bit to be like, hey, no. That may have been the bigger thing than actually honking. But so you get there. It's only for like 40 feet. So like, deal with it, whatever, where the cones are. And I get back over the right, and then he tears off to the thing. Now, the thing about this is that there's 2 more lights until that main road. The first light was a green light. I was kind of hoping that would be a red light, so it'd be like, yeah, you were good job getting over to the red light here. This next intersection on the main road. So you have this two lanes going southbound, but at that intersection, there's first a stop sign intersection. It's not a stop sign for this road, but the parking lots that go out into it. It's a really bad design here at this intersection. But there's like a Chili's over the one side, and then there's like an office building on the other side, and it's like literally like 50 yards from that to the stoplight. But from that point where that little intersection is, it splits then into like 5 lanes. Four of them are turn lanes, and there's one that goes straight. And so the people who were it gets backed up pretty regularly at this time of day. And there's a van that stopped before that little intersection, so that if people needed to turn left across there or turn left from the other way to get across, really all of the left, so that all of the left turns could happen if they needed to happen. They were being considerate. This guy in the truck, he swerves around because this van was stopped in the left lane because the light just was still red. And this guy swerves around him and like goes diagonally across. So he goes over to the far right lane and then goes across in the intersection and then swerves back around into the turn lanes in front of that van that was waiting to go into those lanes. And I mean, he did make the left turn light, but at what cost? Like, how many of those infinite universes did he just cause an accident that killed somebody or something like that? And for what? To save 2 minutes? Come on. Like, it's so stupid. Like, don't drive like that, especially if you have a car, a truck, a gigantic truck, and you're driving like you're on a motorcycle that can dart in and out of traffic. I don't even advise it for a motorcycle that actually has the agility to do something like that and to be able to avoid, like, get out of the way of stuff. You can't. No. You'll kill some. That I'm sure that guy has already killed somebody before, and will absolutely in infinite possible universes. All of us will kill somebody in the infinite That's really dark to think about. All of the infinite possibilities there are those in which one commits murder in some circumstance or another. In fact, there are even possibilities, because if there are infinite possibilities, that means that every single possibility is one of those possibilities, and that also means that in at least one of those branches, and therefore in an infinite number of those branches, then an individual kills all the other individuals everywhere. That's messed up. That's a messed up thing to think about. So I'm going to stop thinking about it. Along with a lot of messed up things that I've been thinking about because of Avengers Endgame, which I'll hopefully do after I see it for the 3rd time. I will do a podcast all about it, all of my thoughts about it, and all the stuff that goes down in there. It may or may not relate to what I was just talking about a little bit, but I've been thinking about that type of stuff for a long, long time. Back to NXT. We have Undisputed Era backstage, like in their like their gear warehouse zone or whatever, and they're cutting their usual promo, but then Adam says something like, not like last week when Roderick dropped the ball. Roderick gets pissed. Bobby Fish goes after him, tries to mend the fences, and Kyle's like, what the heck, man? You were clearly joking? What? That didn't seem like a joke. So things are not that well in Undisputed Era, and that makes me kind of sad. Maybe Adam Cole will be the one who gets kicked out of this thing. That'd be interesting. Lone Wolf, Adam Cole. Baby. And that brings us to the main event, the debut, the Kushida debut of Kushida versus Cassius Ohno. Some great stuff in this match. I thought it really, I'm not super familiar with Kushida. I think I've seen a couple of his matches before, but it was a good taste of what's to come from him, and I'm excited to see some other matches go down. As Ohno is very good. But he's not good enough to beat anybody who comes in new from any new people who come into NXT. He just inevitably loses to every single one. But Kushida, I'm excited. He wins via the hoverboard lock. His whole Back to the Future deal is very enjoyable. I like it a lot. So I'm looking forward to more. Very much looking forward to more from Kushida. My very, very brief rundown of that main event. The main event that's like 15 minutes. After going on and on about traffic and all the timelines and the infinite possible futures. That sounds about right. So I think that's it for right now. The Worlds Collide Battle Royals, I thought they were both really, really fun. I have not watched the TV versions of them. I'd be interested to watch those with commentary and all of that. Mia Yim was on commentary for something recently. I haven't watched any of the Worlds Collide stuff on the network. But I know that she was on commentary for one of them. I want to check that out. I forget when that was. If it was for the NXT versus main roster episode, or if it was the Women Collide episode, I don't know. So anyway, that's it for NXT and NXT UK this week. There's some announcements with stuff. They haven't officially announced when. You know what? That makes sense. I think they announced, or I know they announced the next Saudi Arabia show happening on like June 7th or something like that. That Friday. It doesn't have a name or anything yet. I think they announced that because I imagine that during the NXT tapings they announced when the next takeover is, which I believe will be the following weekend after that. Because they moved that, and then they also moved the pay-per-view that was going to happen. It's called Stomping Ground, and it's going to be on the 13th or something like that. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 15th, 13th. I don't know. I don't have the dates in front of me or anything, but that one is in Portland, which I won't be able to go to because I will be in St. Louis that weekend. No, San Antonio that weekend. No, the original weekend I would have been in I don't know. Whatever. It's everything's all moved around. The June dates were all up in the air anyway. So it's kind of like I could go to a bunch of these shows. Like I am potentially in the same place as a lot of shows, but it just like doesn't work out in the month of June. But lots of comic conventions coming up that I'm very excited about. Go to demonjackal.com for all those dates. The next takeover, it's coming up. I'm getting pretty excited for it. I hope that we get the NXT or the women's tag team championships defended at that takeover. Because we don't have Um, it hasn't been officially announced, but it's got to be Peyton Royce and Billie Kay defending the championships against Asuka and Kairi Sane on at Money in the Bank. That's got to be the match, right? It's got to be. That's got to be. And then to whoever wins, then they go on. The next defense is just a couple of weeks later at NXT Takeover, the next Takeover, and that would be really cool. And then the next week or the next night or whatever at Stomping Ground, wherever they cover. Is it Stomping? Oh, I don't know. So I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank. It's gonna be really good. There's gonna be some really good matches on there. A lot of discussion I've seen online is like, this is gonna be so bad. Talks about the ratings a little bit. Yeah, this last week the show wasn't very good, but I think the next pay-per-view is going to be very, very good because I always love ladder matches. We're getting Kevin Owens versus Kofi. I think that'll be great. We have Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. That's gonna be awesome. A bunch of the people that are in those ladder matches, that'll be great. I mean, the SmackDown side of things is pretty solid. The Raw side of things on the men's match is solid. I'm excited that Alexa Bliss is in the match, but who else was even in there? It was it's her and Dana Brooke and Natalya, and who is the other one? I don't even remember who the fourth Raw woman entrant is. It is Naomi. That's right. So I don't know. I'm excited for 5/8 of the Money in the Bank ladder match participants. I guess that's also kind of accurate for the men's ladder match too, because like Braun being in there, it doesn't really have to be in there, does he? I don't know. I can't remember the other three from Raw. Ooh, is Joe in there? Ricochet is in there. I'm excited for him. Anyway, I think that's that pretty much covers everything. Take us through the rest of the week. I got to try to watch some Doom Patrol here soon. I've fallen so far behind. But I have a bunch of shows downloaded to my phone and my iPad to watch on the airplane and stuff. Some of those shows I might talk about real soon. Let me pull up one. Anthony Jeselnik's new special just came out. I'm excited to watch that. It's on Netflix. I just watched The Act yesterday, like all of it. I had it on the background, so I wasn't watching it, but it's still super messed up. Just experience it is super messed up. Out of the OA, I started watching OA season 2. That's been pretty interesting. Talking about parallel universes, stuff like that. A little bit has to do with what I was talking about earlier. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson is a very, very weird show, but some of it's very funny. I've only watched one episode so far, but so I'm assuming the other episodes have the equal quotient of weird and funny. That's on Netflix as well. I have that downloaded. Those episodes, it's interesting, and I appreciate that these episodes of this show are only 17 minutes. I respect that. To make that choice. I don't need to fill a half hour of television if it's, I imagine it may be part of the thinking. I want it to be a concentrated dose of weird humor. And if that means the episode only ends up being 17 minutes, then all the better. Because I know it'll be 17 minutes of great as opposed to 17 minutes of great plus 6 minutes of okay. So yeah, I respect that decision. if that is part of that decision process. I also have The Order. I've been meaning to get that started. And Triple Frontier. I've heard good things about that movie. I have that downloaded. So I might be able to watch some of those like on the airplane and stuff like that. And then I also have... So this is my streaming services downloads recommendations section of the show. Hana season 1. I am so excited for that. How have I not started watching that yet? I absolutely love the film that it's based on. That was starring Saoirse Ronan. I don't know any of the actors. I'm sure I know some of the actors, but I'm not aware of who the actors in this show are. So I have that downloaded. I have season 2 of Marvelous Miss Maisel downloaded, and then I've been subscribed. I bought the season passes for Tacoma FD and What We Do in the Shadows because I don't want DVR screwing those up. I just want to enjoy their very, very funny goodness. So I'm excited to see those. Also, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. And then over on the CBS app, I have 2 seasons of Survivor downloaded that I have not watched yet. That is the Marquesas and Amazon. I have not watched either of those seasons yet. I think that's seasons 4 and 5. How have I not watched those yet? There's also Healers versus Hustlers versus Heroes, or whatever that season's called. I have not watched that one yet either. So I've got a lot to fill the time when I'm just sitting on airplanes, traveling all the way out over the Pacific, part of a very small portion of the Pacific to get to Alaska. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. So, if this is the last, to go back to the Infinite Universes, if this is the last episode, thanks so much for listening to all of these. Be safe out there, super friends, and live every moment as if it is your last. Enjoy it, and also prepare others for their... Oh my God, it's getting dark. For the potential absence. Anyway, forget I said that part. Thanks for listening. Stay safe out there, super friends, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.